Afternoon, everyone. This is Amy Martin from the Galva Arts Council. I am the president of the Galva Arts Council, and I am excited to do our second day of our last week. We have most of the whole week, we have guest readers that will be reading our stories. Yesterday, you might have caught Melissa Bates and the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. In just a little bit, we will do Adam Peterson reading Gigi's Yellow Garden, and Adam is the author of Gigi's Yellow Garden. So I think that's pretty cool that we get to listen to the author read his story. And then tomorrow, we're gonna have Sherry Wood, who is a Galva librarian. She's gonna come on and read Pete the Cat and the Super Cool Science Fair. And then on Thursday, we'll have Stephanie Taylor, one of our board members, reading Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. And then on Friday, I will finish us up with reading A Color of His Own. All right, that's our schedule for this last week of our Read Aloud series. As always, all of our episodes, all of the series is free. But if you would like to donate, you can always go to our Facebook page and click on the donate button at the top. Or you could always send a donation to Galva Arts Council, P.O. Box 29 in Galva, Illinois. All right, I think that's all I wanted to say. So I think we are ready. So like I said, we are going to listen to Adam Peterson read Gigi's Yellow Garden. All right, give me 1 second here. Right, here we go. Gigi's Yellow Garden.
Hey everyone, my name is Adam Peterson and I'm super proud to be here with you today to share my story, Gigi's Yellow Garden. This is a story that was written in honor of a friend of mine to help spread kindness all around the world. And it's illustrated by another friend of mine, an amazing talented artist, Grace Althouse. So this is Gigi's Yellow Garden. On a quiet corner at the intersection of Neal Street and Trotter Drive, a garden of yellow flowers shone brightly amidst the cobblestone sidewalks. Stacked stones and bricks surrounded the garden, and behind it sat a lovely two-story home that belonged to Gigi Guinea. Gigi loved her garden, and on most days she could be found tending to the flowers, watering and weeding. One day, Harry Hamster strolled by with his daughter, Henrietta. Henrietta was crying and holding her elbow. "What's the matter, little one?" asked Gigi, concerned. "She tripped on the sidewalk and scraped her elbow," replied Harry. "Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. How about a flower?" Gigi reached into her garden and picked a long-stemmed yellow flower. She offered it to Henrietta. "Here you go, Henrietta. Flowers always brighten my day." The young hamster grasped the flower in her outstretched paw, and a smile spread across her face. "Thank you, Gigi, but what do we owe you for the flower?" asked Harry. "Don't be silly, sir," Gigi replied, tapping a little wooden sign that hung on a post to the side of her garden. Harry looked down and read the sign. "On your honor." "That's a lesson that my grandma Guinea taught to my daddy Guinea, who taught it to me," Gigi shared. "If someone wants to leave something for a flower, great. If not, she can just take one. I don't make anyone pay for flowers. I just like to see others smile." After a smile and a thank you, Harry and Henrietta went on their way. The next morning, Gigi stepped outside to work in her garden and was surprised to see a yellow balloon tied to the little wooden sign. Attached to the string of the balloon was a note that simply read, "Thanks for the flower, Mr. H." Gigi's heart felt fuller than ever. She had given flowers away for as long as she could remember, but never before had she been given something so sweet in return. Little did she know what she had just started in her garden and how it would change the world around her forever. As Gigi was admiring the balloon, Mrs. Squirrel and young Sammy Squirrel scurried by. "Balloon, balloon!" shouted Sammy. His whiskers twitched with excitement as he watched the balloon sway in the breeze. "Would you like the balloon?" asked Gigi. "Well, what does it cost?" questioned Mrs. Squirrel. "No charge at all, ma'am. If the balloon makes him happy, he can have it," Gigi replied. She was delighted to pass it on. "Someone brightened my day with it, so if it makes him smile, it's all his." "Thank you so much, Gigi." Mrs. Squirrel gave Gigi a hug. Sammy gave her a high five, and then the two squirrels went on their way. Sammy giggled and tugged on the string of the balloon as he skipped down the sidewalk ahead of his mother. Another day passed and Gigi was hard at work in her garden when Sammy Squirrel scampered down a nearby tree. He handed Gigi a piece of paper before heading off to school. Gigi unfolded the paper and found a note scribbled in yellow crayon. It read, "Thank you for making my day yellow. Love, Sammy." Gigi watched young Sammy scurry off to school and she felt a small teardrop wet her cheek. She began to feel a sense of pride as she thought of the lesson that her Grandma Guinea had passed down to her. "I made someone's day yellow," she thought, as she looked up at the sky. Gigi knew her grandma was watching over her and would be proud of the kindness that she was spreading. The young guinea pig had never intended for her garden to become what it had. She just loved the color yellow and the way it made her feel inside. She never knew that it would make the lives of others so bright and happy. Gigi wiped the happy tears from her cheek and went back to work, tending to her garden. Spring passed, summer months faded away, and fall weather made its way to town. Though the flowers had begun to wilt away for the year, Gigi's garden was still aglow with yellow. You see, Gigi's lesson of kindness had sparked something in the neighborhood that the winter cold could not stop. It started with flowers, balloons, and notes, but the garden soon became a place for all things yellow. When passers-by needed a pick-me-up, they could always find the joy they needed in Gigi's yellow garden. Thanks to Gigi's lesson, they always left something yellow behind for the next neighbor who came along in search of a smile. The garden had become a place that was more about feelings than flowers. Gigi was happier than ever watching her neighbors' reactions as they passed her yellow garden. Where she once looked out and saw yellow flowers, Gigi's eyes now focused on the smiles that the garden brought to the faces of all who happened to walk by. Whether a stranger or a friend, everyone found happiness in the yellow that spread far beyond the stones, bricks, and cobblestone sidewalks. One cold winter morning, Gigi was braving the temperatures to shovel the snow off the sidewalk in front of her house. As she scooped the snow in front of her garden, she saw the snow and the dirt begin to move within it. She was startled when Morris Mole popped his gray-haired head out through the dirt and snow. "Good morning, Morris. How are you?" Gigi asked. She was happy to see her friend. Morris was shivering and had icicles forming on his long gray whiskers. "I'm doing well, Gigi. Just a little cold. It's freezing down in my tunnels." Morris could barely get his answer out between shivers. "You're going to catch a cold down there," said Gigi, worried about her friend. "Here, take my scarf to help you stay warm." "Really? You mean it?" asked Morris as he reached out for the warm yellow scarf. "Of course. I have more scarves in my house, and I can go right inside to get another one," replied Gigi. "Use it to stay warm down in your tunnels. I insist." "Thank you so much, Gigi," exclaimed Morris excitedly. "But I have nothing to give you in return." Gigi responded, "Oh, hush now. You don't owe me anything at all. I'm just glad that I can help." "Wait a minute," shouted Morris abruptly as he ducked inside his hole. He erupted from his hole in excitement. "Take this shiny rock that I just found. I bumped into it when I was digging under your garden. I know it isn't much, but it's all I have to give you in return for your kindness." Gigi once again felt a warm feeling rush through her heart. "You really don't need to give me that, Morris, but this is the most beautiful rock I have ever seen. I will cherish it forever. Thank you for making my day yellow." Gigi hugged her friend goodbye, and Morris disappeared down inside his tunnel. Gigi gripped the rock tightly, picked up her shovel, and headed into her house to get warm. Many of Gigi's neighbors had probably passed that rock before. Even Gigi wondered if she had tossed it to the side one time while weeding her garden. To most, this was just a dirty, gray rock. But to Gigi, it meant so much more. It was proof that even though her Grandma Guinea had long ago passed away, the lessons she taught were alive and well. And it was the greatest gift any neighbor had ever given her. And she painted the rock yellow to match her happy decor and keep spreading those smiles around. So that's the story of Gigi's yellow garden. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Okay, so sorry it did get a little jumpy towards the end, but I think you still got the gist. I hope you enjoyed that. I really think that's an awesome story with an awesome message. which remember I said before, almost all stories have a message or a lesson to learn, right? And that one is to do what you can to help others, right? Yeah, it's a great one. I love it. Okay, thank you so much, Adam Peterson, for doing that. That was really awesome. And I think the kids hopefully really enjoyed it. Okay, guys, so for our craft for today, okay, we're gonna make something yellow, right? Wouldn't that make sense? So guess what we're gonna make? We're gonna make a pineapple. It's yellow. Okay, so give me a second here. I'm kind of moving some things around. Here. Let me share my screen over here. Nope, it's gonna be a silly guy today. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, probably would help if I click the button. Sometimes I forget the steps. All right, here we go. Okay. That. There we go. Okay. There we are. 1 second here. I forgot to pull something up on my other computer. Oh, and I forgot to change it so you could see me. Let me change that. There you go. Now you can see me. Okay. Give me 1 second to pull something up. Actually, I'll do what we need while I'm doing it. We can multitask. Okay, so like I said, we're going to make a pineapple. So, of course, you're going to need yellow paper, right? You need yellow paper. You're also going to need green paper. You're going to need glue, a pair of scissors, and a pencil, but as always with me and writing, sometimes it looks better for you guys to see if I use a pen, so I'm going to use a pen, but I probably think you would want to use a pencil in case you made a mistake and wanted to fix it up, right? Okay. So let me move this out of the way. We'll start with our yellow to make basically the bottom part of the pineapple, right? Okay, so we're going to do this pretty big, use most of the paper. Okay, I think I'm going to recommend you put your paper this way, okay? Long way. And we're going to use our top and our bottom of our paper to help us draw because we're going to kind of leave a little bit of that flat. So what you're going to do is come, I guess find your middle and then go over just a little bit. And you're really just going to make a curve that goes all the way from the top to the bottom, kind of like that C. You know, we were talking about making faces and almost everything when you draw faces, like making the letter C. That's pretty much what we're going to do here. So it's going to be a very long one, okay? So you've got to start at the top, and you're going to curve, but you want that curve to go all the way to the bottom, like that, okay? Okay. Then you're going to come over a little ways. This is obviously not going to be right in the middle of my paper, but that's fine because I'm going to cut it out. But I would say, I don't know. Let's see here. I'm thinking I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to try to curve the best that I can to about there. Okay. Now, my pineapple isn't perfect. It looks like, and what I'm probably going to do, just because of how I drew it, because it looks like it got a little more narrow here and a little bigger here. When I cut it out, I'm probably going to make that be my top part and that be my bottom. So here's the thing. You're just going to cut on those 2 lines that you made. And maybe if you didn't like how you drew it, you could redraw it, or maybe as you're cutting, cut it a little differently to be the way you want it to be. But I think I'm okay with mine. As we say, it doesn't have to be perfect, does it? Okay, here's one curve. And I'm going to do my other one. I might even just make it a little more curvy. Okay, so there is the main part of my pineapple, okay? Now, with your pencil, you're gonna maybe wanna put some dots all over it, because I don't know if you paid attention to a pineapple, but it's kind of got dots on it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put, and I know mine's purple, but that's just so that you can see it. So put some dots. Doesn't really matter where, how many. I'm just kind of making them in a line just because it's easier for me to see. Not that they necessarily need to be. I bet they're probably not in a line on an actual pineapple. But hey, I think that's fine. If you don't want to put them in a line and you want them more mixed up, then you just go right ahead and do that. All right, there's my dots for my pineapple. All right, I'm done with my yellow paper, so you can just put that to the side. Okay, now, and with your scrap, so you don't need the scrap anymore, and now I'm gonna move my pineapple itself to the side. Move my scissors out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna take my green paper, and I gotta make the top part of the pineapple, and you know what we're gonna use to make the top part? Your hand, okay? So, here's the thing, we need 3 of these. So I think I'm gonna fold my paper. Okay, so I want everyone to see long, and I'm gonna fold it like this, okay? Okay, so long, and I'm gonna fold it in half. Okay, I'm trying to think about how this is gonna work. I think, and your hands are smaller, so it's gonna be a little easier than mine. I think if I fold this in half again, okay, so I've got it like this, and I'm gonna fold it in half again. And this is gonna make 4 hands if we do it right. Right, yeah. Now I don't need 4 hands, I just need 3, but I think it'll work. And I think yours is small enough. Now I'm a little curious as if mine's gonna fit as well. I'm gonna kind of just, I'm gonna be very careful with how I place my hand. Yours, the hand's a little smaller, so it might fit a little better. If you're worried that this is gonna be too small and it might not look right, you could always just do the fold in half and then do it twice with 2 pieces of paper. But I'm gonna just do this to maybe make it go a little quicker. Okay, so now, even though I was laying that hand out, remember, whatever hand you write with, use the opposite one to lay down. Okay, so you want your fingers spread out a little bit. I'm being careful to make sure I fit all on here. I think that should be decent enough. I think it looks a little better when you have as much space as you can in between your fingers. So put as much as you can. But like I said, if you gotta kind of, I've got mine a little tight here, but that I think will still be okay. So all I'm doing here is tracing. Okay. Trace, trace, trace all the way around my hand, all the way down. When I lift, I'll kind of just make sure I connect. Okay, there's my hand, right? Okay, take your scissors and cut out the hand. Make sure you keep your paper folded, because that's what's going to allow you to have multiple hands that are all the same. Just be as careful as you can. Cut out your hand. Now, some of you, because you have really little fingers, you're going to have to be very careful not to cut a finger off. Mine are a little bigger, so I think it'll be okay. Try to keep that paper lined up the best you can. Sometimes it likes to come undone. So just keep it as tight as you can in this hand, the one that's holding it, so it doesn't. And be careful not to cut your fingers that are holding it. I just noticed my scissors are kind of long, so I gotta be careful with what I'm doing so that I don't do it. Remember, this hand that's holding is what's gonna kind of turn your paper as you cut. So use that hand to help you. Some friends have trouble cutting, and that's like the technique they just need to realize is if they just move the hand that's holding the paper, that helps. Okay, hold on, I'm getting a little caught up here with my fingers. There we go, I got it. Okay. But careful when you get down to the part where it curves. Make sure you move this hand if you need to. Don't get it cut. Your scissors might be smaller, so you might not have to worry about it. Mine are kind of long, so I'm like, ooh, careful. All right, I'm almost there. Tough, all the curves, huh? I keep turning it. I'm trying to hold it still. Oh, I got my pinky got a little smaller, but that's okay. What are you gonna do? Okay, almost done. All right, I did it. Okay, I'm gonna get my scraps out of the way. I don't need that. Remember what I said, you technically are having, you have 4 hands, you really only need 3. So, you know, you just look inside, you know. The other one you can do, I don't know, something else with. Maybe give someone a hand, here you go. It'd be like a joke, you know, like you tell somebody, I'm gonna give them a hand. Yeah, to help them out or whatever. Okay, bring the pineapple back. And I would turn it upside down because I think that might be the easiest. And I'm just gonna lay these out here. And I'm not gluing anything down yet because I'm just kind of deciding what I want. I'm kind of thinking that I gotta rotate it a little bit there. I don't know, what do you think? So if I put this here, I'm trying to think, it's like, does it look like a pineapple? If I get them a little closer, maybe that'll help it look like a pineapple. Okay, I'm kind of liking what I did there. So what I'm gonna do, and you can move these if you want. I'm gonna kind of keep them together as I move them, but okay. So I'm just put some glue down. And really you're just probably putting glue down at the bottom part of the hand. Oh, probably should open my glue first. Okay, just like at the bottom part. There we go. I'd say probably about like that. Down. Grab another hand. Just kind of go like this. I'm kind of having the pinkies touch the pinkies. I don't know if it really matters. I just feel like that looks better, but you do it your way. Do some overlap. Be fine. All right, and then my last one. Now I'm gonna have my thumbs overlap, it looks like. Maybe even actually move it over a little here. Yeah, I kind of lay it there before I put the glue on, just to be like, where do I want that? You know, you see how that balloon almost hit me in the face? My golly. Okay. Put it down and then flip it over. And I don't know, what do you think? You might even need to, since it isn't quite dry yet, you can move it around a little bit. Make it look the way you want it. I don't know, I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Does that look like a pineapple? Okay, I think so. I think we did a good job. There's our pineapple. Now my hand is curving. It's probably because it's humid today. Humidity curves paper sometimes. But there you go. We made a pineapple, a yellow pineapple in honor of Gigi's yellow garden. I bet if she had any fruits and veggies growing, she might have a pineapple growing. Of course, she'd probably have to live in a warm climate for that to happen, huh? You can't really grow pineapples in our backyard, I don't think. Okay, so there we go. Let's see here, let me stop sharing. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed Adam Peterson reading Gigi's Yellow Garden. If you really liked that book, I'm pretty sure it's still for sale on Amazon. So you go to Amazon and search for it and purchase that awesome book. I think it's really good. I have a copy myself for my classroom. And I think it's a cute story that tells a good lesson, right? Teaches a good lesson. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed making your pineapple with your hand for the top. And then let's just remember tomorrow we have Sherry Wood, one of the librarians at the Galva Library, coming on and reading to us Pete the Cat and the super cool science fair. Long title, huh? All right, so come check us out tomorrow at 2 to see that. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.